All right, so you guys know it's Wednesday, which means it's our niche day. So we're going to be jumping into a couple of samples of a couple of decants. This one, I feel like I talked about on live, and I've definitely talked about with some of my guys, but Chris Collins, one of his newest fragrances, we have Forbidden Apple. If you're a gourmand lover, you definitely want to stay tuned for that. And then from the house of Amouage, I've been hearing good things about this one, Amouage Guidance 46. All right. So let's go ahead, jump right in. Yo, what's going on, party people, fat boy family? I hope you guys are having an amazing day. It's Wednesday. We made it through another week. At the time that you're actually watching this, it may be another day. Nonetheless, I appreciate you guys being here. Do me a favor, feel free, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and while you're ready, go ahead and click the bell to get me notified every single time I post new content like this to the channel. But let's go ahead and jump right into today's discussion. All right, again, we're gonna be jumping into two fragrances. So again, the first one here I have, which is Chris Collins Forbidden Apple. Now, full transparency, I have actually already sprayed this initially when I got it because I was excited about it and want to dive back in because there's something very unique about this. One of the things I will say, if you're a gourmand lover, you're going to love this. You're going to appreciate this. If you're an angel share lover, you should love this and appreciate this. Either this could have been what Angel Share was. Angel Share is iconic, and I'm not saying that this is a clone or an inspiration of Angel Share in any way, but this is the perfect fall fragrance with some perfumery style nuances there. That's not going to be for everybody. Even if you're a gourmand lover, it's going to be different because there's a slight, bright, crisp booze to this that I get. But nonetheless, let's just go ahead and get it on skin so we can talk back through it because it has been a week since I've actually worn this. So I remember my initial impressions, but let's say this is definitely going to be like a first impression all over again. And you just get this beautiful, oh my God, this is a beautiful fragrance in the air. This beautiful, warm, crispy, fresh red apple. Like right now, the North Carolina State Fair is going on. And this is like a beautiful fall morning. Like when we've been waking up over the past couple of weeks, over the past week, definitely, the temperature has had a 4 in front. It's been cold. And I can imagine you being in the western part of the state. This is what this smells like. It's like, yo, we going to the fair. We getting ready to bob for apples. You get that fresh, crisp, bright red apple opening. But you can tell there's going to be some sweetness here, some fruit here, some warmth. There's definitely some other things going on. Nice, you know what I'm saying? A little spice. There's some cinnamon here. There's something here, and I don't know exactly because even then I didn't look up the notes, and I don't believe the notes are in this or whatever. I know it talks about a little bit, but and I'm gonna look it up in a minute, but there's something here. This is perfectly unisex. There's something here in the opening that almost some type of fruit or some type of flower that gives it, I want to say it almost gives it like this slight lychee feel, but I don't think it's lychee. I think it's red, some type of red berry, because it's not sweet, but it's like this fruity floral thing that gives me this lychee feel, but it's not lychee. Again, but you definitely, because I did not look up the notes the first time. You can ask the guys, I was like, yo, this Forbidden Apple is fire. You definitely got to smell it. But you get this sweet, slightly boozy, slightly warm spice thing going on here, but you definitely get a lot of that crisp apple, all right? And that's what you're really getting open. And so this is going to be perfectly unisex. The women might actually appreciate this more than the fellas. You know what I'm saying? So I want to get that. Let's let it rest for a little while. And then let's go ahead and jump in on the other hand, this Amouage Guidance 46. The light is kind of blowing that out. We've really been diving to the house of Amouage lately, and I appreciate my good folk over at Black Aroma for helping your boy really dive into niche. That's what this series is all about. You know what I'm saying? Really just diving in. And this is an official sample. I didn't show the other one, but this is the official sample, just so you see. All right. It's kind of funny. Some of y'all be like, we don't like decant reviewers, bro. It's a playlist. Like, chill out. I'm getting a bottle of that Forbidden Apple though. I know that. All right, this is interesting. Definitely floral. This is this is the first time I've worn this 46, this Guidance. And this Amouage is an extrait, and the Forbidden Apple is an EDP for anybody that cares. And there are no notes or anything like that on the Amouage, so let's just see what we get. Floral incense. Some type of fruit. Floral incense. I've never smelled anything like this. Fougere. Like floral incense and fougere. Like this smells amazing in the air. This is different. Like this is niche. Like I've honest to God, I've never smelled anything like this in my life. Like this is niche. And I know, you know, extrait is almost like the new elixir, is like the new fancy term or whatever. Extrait typically means it's just a higher oil concentration. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't necessarily mean that it's gonna project anymore. Extraits typically mean that they sit closer to the skin and for the purpose of giving you more longevity. The beautiful thing about Amouage is an extrait is an extrait. So what you think an extrait is supposed to do, that's what the extrait does. Because this is booming. It's wafting. And I mean, look at my hand. Like that was 3 sprays, bro. That is crazy. That's that overspray J. If you ain't shining, are you even applying? I don't know what, like there's this, like fern, you know, like the plant, like a fern, like there's like a plant type. There's something green here, but not in the typical green. Cause you know, I really don't like greens like violet leaf, tomato leaf, different things like that. There's like something I would smell if I walked in a garden shop or in the house, like a fern, like, you know, it's slightly piney, but not necessarily like pine needles, not earthy. This is different though. Definitely something you're gonna wear in the springtime, something with some character. You can dress this up, but I can honestly see you running, frolicking through the fields on a picnic wearing this or whatever. I don't know what this is. So we gonna come back to this. It smells good though. Like I said, I got incense, I got some floral, some type of fruit, some type of plant, something green. I could be way off on that. I'm just telling you what I smell. I see a grown man or woman, but it's like, I promise you, super unique, fougere quality, frolicking. Do you frolic? You gotta, you know what I'm saying? Be a kid, you gotta frolic at some point. But frolicking, this is what I get. So let's look up the notes first for Forbidden Apple. And some of that sweetness from the Forbidden Apple, I think there's gotta be vanilla in here. It's starting to come through. So super good, super good. All right. All right, so let's jump in. Let's pull up the information for Forbidden Apple and see what we got working with. All right, so some of this we were, you know, kind of on point with. So on the top, you should see this on the screen. You got red apple. That's that bright, crisp red apple I told you about. Pink pepper, brown sugar, and strawberry. Okay. All right. So maybe it was the strawberry that was that other fruit that I was talking about. Or maybe it was what I'm looking at now. In the heart, we got cinnamon, white rum. I told you this was, you know, kind of what Angel Share maybe could have been or would have been a great flanker for Angel Share. Fenugreek, not sure what that is. Pomegranate. The pomegranate is what makes sense. All right, and in the base, we have Haitian vetiver, vanilla absolute, and fir. Gotcha, okay. So as it continues to work down, like I said, that white rum is not a dark rum. It adds a nice, you know, booziness to it. Not like super boozy. This is not like a super boozy fragrance, but it's the allure. It's very alluring, you know, and my understanding is this is supposed to be based off like the apple from the Garden of Eden. So it's very alluring. There's a sex appeal about this. This is why I think it's perfectly unisex. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to tempt. Yeah, let me not go there. But as it starts to work its way through the vanilla absolute, the Haitian vetiver, it still gives it this woody character, and it's not like overly sweet. It's not like a super sweet vanilla. It's like enough vanilla to give it, you know what I'm saying, a little bit of sweetness, and then that fur kind of gives it texture. So that's really what I'm getting from that. So this is dope. I definitely want a full bottle. Shout out to Chris Collins though, because I know this is in Sephora, which is major for, you know, a black perfumer, a black owned perfume brand to be in Sephora. Not in Sephora everywhere. I think it's just kind of in the big cities. So like Atlanta, probably Dallas, New York, or whatever, because we don't have it. If Charlotte has it, then I may try to check it out. But, you know, Raleigh ain't that big. You know what I'm saying? And then let's look up the information for the Amouage Guidance 46. Like, I feel like I've smelt something like this before, but I honestly can't remember specifically what it is. It's a lot going on in here. Okay. So I know it was fruity. I know there was some floral aspect there. There's Frank. Okay, let me just tell you what's in it. Cause like I said, this smells similar to something. Like I said, I feel like I've smelled before, but like a Hez Parfums had this plum fragrance, and then Bon Perfumer has like this plum rose type thing going on. Those are a lot more dense. So, but this kind of gives me a similar feel. So in the top, we have rose water, pear, hazelnut, bitter almond, frankincense, and pink pepper. So that frankincense kind of gave me that incensey feel. The pear was the fruit I was talking about, and the rose water, you know, was giving off that floral accord that I was talking about. So I couldn't have picked this out, but the nuances of what I was getting, we were spot on. Then in the middle, you have rose, osmanthus, saffron, and jasmine sambuc. I mean, rose really is kind of the star of the show here. And then in the base, you get sandalwood, Ikagali wood, vanilla, ambret, Georgie wood, ambergris, labdanum, and cypriol. So super woody fragrance. There's a lot of wood here, a lot of rose here. I can see, if you're a fan of rose, I can see you liking this. This is very unique, but this is not a rose that I would probably wear, because it's more of a thicker, milkier type of rose. Like, I'm getting into rose, you know what I'm saying? You guys know when it comes to leather, when it comes to rose, and when it comes to ouds, that's a faction I'm really growing into, and my nose is really developing to appreciate. I don't know how, like, the opening was kind of unique. It was kind of dope. I think I like that. But as we start to work through the fragrance, I'm like, like I said, it just has this milky quality to it. Plum confiture. It just reminds me of a dialed back, like a super less dense of plum confiture. And that from Hez can sometimes be a little bit overwhelming. I'm afraid that the rose here, even though I think it's beautiful and it would be crazy compliments, it's one of those things that after a while you'd be like, okay, I'm tired of wearing this. Like, honestly, because already we're not even a half hour in, and I'm like, okay, I want to rub this off. And considering how oily this is, I think I'm good. So if you have an appreciation for rose that's done in a very unique way, that's enveloped kind of like in this incense, in this wood, you would definitely appreciate this. But like I said, it comes off like a milky kind of rose, if that makes sense. I'm gonna tell you what this smells like. A rose, no disrespect, because I'm not trying to play it down, but women will understand what I'm saying. This smells like a rose water type of Dove beauty bar. Yeah. You know, because Dove is really all kind of about that milk bath type thing. Rose, some type of, if Dove has some level of rose water beauty bar, this is what that would be. So super feminine. Definitely lean. It's supposed to be unisex. If you're a man, you can definitely rock this, because I think more of the woods, as it continues to dry down, are going to really come out on you. I probably won't revisit this. There are other rose fragrances that I would prefer. Like I'd probably prefer more of a Argos type of rose, not necessarily this. Forbidden Apple though, definitely my speed, which makes sense because I'm a gourmand guy. But rose, you know what I'm saying? I'm opening myself up to trying new things. I have an appreciation for this, but this is not necessarily me. So let's talk about, I just want to look at the price real quick and then we're going to get on out of here. I'm going to let you guys go. I just want to see how much it costs. Oh, this high. Amouage 46. Olfactory has it for $358. Neiman has it for $550. So yeah, we talking around basically $500. Nah, not for me. Maybe for you, not for me. And then Forbidden Apple is sub $200 if I'm not mistaken, $175. That's more my speed. We can do that. Yeah, so Forbidden Apple is $175. That's nice. Yeah. So do me a favor. If you like, I want you to leave me a comment. Let me know, have you gotten your nose on either of these? How do you feel about them? How do they smell? How do you like them? But do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button. And while you're ready, go ahead and click the bell so you're notified every single time I post more content like this to the channel. And also let me know some decants or some samples you guys want me to buy. I want to include you on this. So some of the things that you want me to get my nose on, we're not just running out here buying bottles. Specifically niche for this, specifically niche. Let me know some samples that you would want me to get my nose on and experience, and put those down in the comments. But until next time, I'll catch you guys in the next video.